Fourthly, Madam Speaker, in terms of the reasons why we don't trust the numbers in this budget, there is a loud, inexplicable silence on the Venezuela Petrocarib debt controversy. Just imagine the Prime Minister who's asked the world to help Dominica become the first climate resilient nation in the world is the same man who publicly denied for years a Dominica debt of over $100 million owed to Venezuela, and then turned around and accepted forgiveness for the same debt he insisted Dominica did not owe. And no, it is not insignificant that the Prime Minister was forced to accept the debt he previously denied in the presence of 8 donors, development cooperation partners, and governments from around the world assembled at a high-level pledging conference for Dominica and other hurricane-affected islands in the region. If his government did not receive the loan, did not use the funds, and has not been accounting for the debt, on what basis did he accept responsibility for it? Where is the capital gain conferred by the act of debt forgiveness? Why is that capital gain not captured anywhere in the capital revenues listed in the 2018-2019 estimates? 100 million US is 270 million EC. If you receive that or in excess of that by way of debt forgiveness in a certain financial year, the accounts or the estimates for that year ought to reflect a gain for the precise number. We then heard, Madam Speaker, from the Venezuelan Foreign Minister, Jorge Arreza, on the 21st of November 2017. I quote him, "Due to the difficult conditions facing our brethren in Dominica after the passage of Hurricane Maria, Venezuela is announcing the start of a process of debt forgiveness in the short and long term for supplies of Petrocarib from its creation until September 10th, 2017. Minister Arreza continued, quote, "This means the cancellation of a sovereign debt that exceeds US $100 million in order to allow the government of Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit funds for the reconstruction of his country, as well as the creation of a fiscal space that allows access to new credits." The Minister of Finance told us in Parliament on May 1st, 2018, quote, "The cancellation of the debt, the 100 million which the Venezuelans have indicated, is based on their supply of fuel of petroleum products over the life of the Petrocarib arrangement. That is the 40%. He continues. So what is being done now is, once he made the announcement, there's a reconciliation of invoices, bills, and receipts. Because this agreement, you have 3 different players. You have PDVSA, which is the National Petroleum Company of Venezuela, who is a supplier of the petroleum products. You have the joint venture of this with Venezuela and Dominica. And you have the wholly owned state company, the Dominica National Petroleum Company, who holds 40% of the deferred amount in trust. And the Prime Minister continued. On May 1st, this year, once this reconciliation is done, those funds will be sent from the joint venture to Dominica National Petroleum Company, and DNPC will now transfer these funds to the Treasury of Dominica, to the Consolidated Fund, to be used for national development projects to respond to the disaster and other aspects in Dominica. Madam Speaker, this money from the debt has been held by DNPC a wholly owned subsidiary of the government of Dominica. So what other money from the debt does the joint venture company have to transfer to the Treasury? It is the DNPC, the government's company, that must transfer the funds to the government's Treasury. And we have not seen any idea, not one note, in these 429 pages of the estimates of 270 million that the people of Venezuela have made available to us. $270 million, Madam Speaker. Million. Now, the IMF says the Petro-Carib obligation is 9% of GDP, which is about 135.5 million or 50 million US. But of course, the debt is owed to Venezuela by Dominica, and both sides have agreed that the debt is in excess of 100 million US or over 270 million EC. Madam Speaker, the struggling people of Venezuela and the hurricane-affected people of Dominica, whom the Venezuelans have made a huge sacrifice to help, simply want to know, where is the money?